Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the graveyard shift, where I take complicated cases, or I feel like it's complicated cases that you will get in law school, and I summarize it for you. It's been a while, and I'm back with another video. So today we're going to be looking at two specific cases, but I will separate the videos so you're able to listen to two different videos specifically if you listen to it, right? So the video that we're going to be doing, I am sitting outside, by the way. I am sitting outside. I'm getting a fresh breeze. The sun is out. It is so beautiful in Durban. I will show you the view after the video. But let's get straight to the video.
Check this out.
Okay. Each time when I come here, I am abused. Okay.
On the street and I got my swag on. Okay. Get the money, gotta get my bag on. Okay. Triple.
So the case that we're going to be looking at, it is EFF versus the National Speaker of Assembly, which is 2016. So aka the Nkandla Case.
Nkandla
This is one of the cases that you will find in your constitutional law case modules. So, and you'll also find it trickled here and then certain other modules that you'll find in law school. So let's get straight to the facts of the case. In 2009, Jacob Zuma was elected as South Africa's president. The states had agreed that, you know what, Jacob Zuma, you deserve security upgrade because obviously you are our president. We need to keep you safe. So they decided, you know what, we need to actually start getting these security updates started. So they went to his home and they decided to have these upgrades for security though. So these updates start moving along, and then all of a sudden these updates are costing so much so it costed South Africa 246 million rand. And people are just asking, what the hell is he having at home? Although some of the upgrades that were made in his home were part of the security system, there's specific things that were not part of the upgrade. Namely, he had a swimming pool, or i.e. the fire pool, a cattle kraal, a chicken run, an amphitheatre, a visitor center, and expensive landscaping. All of these were part of his so-called security updates, and a report was published with all of these upgrades. Then the public was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, guys, no, this is taxpayers' money. What's going on? The public protector, which is an independent institution under section 9 of the Constitution, started their independent investigation with these reports, right? So they started investigating, and they investigated, and they investigated. And then in March 2014, they released a report called Secure in Comfort. All of these reports, they were able to actually ascertain, okay, these certain upgrades, they were eligible because they were part of security. And these upgrades were not part of the upgrade, they were not part of security. So why did you add it? So the public protector, with that report, they had stated that Jacob Zuma failed to adhere to the Executive Ethics Code as a president. So the report itself had three major, the report itself had three major things that basically they were telling Jacob Zuma to do. One, repay a reasonable percentage back to the state. Two, he needs to reprimand all the ministers that were responsible with this excessive expenditure. And three, he needed to work with the National Treasury to kind of basically discuss how he's going to pay the money, how much he's going to pay the money monthly, and all of that. So the National Protector basically told him, listen, you made a mistake. You made a very bad mistake. So in order to rectify your mistake, this is what we're going to do for you. And yeah, so basically, let's try and fix it. He looked at the report and says, no, No, I'm not going to adhere to it. He basically just said, listen, it's not my fault that these upgrades are my upgrades. I wasn't approving all of these things. It was the government officials that were doing these upgrades. I don't know nothing about them.
Maybe somebody else. I am not the one.
So the fact that they put a pool in my house, it's not my fault. I didn't ask for a pool. They just put a pool in my house. That's what he was essentially just saying. Then he later doubled down with the police, with the report drafted by the Minister of Police, saying that all the features that were put in his house were in fact security measures. Yeah, that's what he said. See the committee who is hooting? I'm sorry, guys. So at the same time, the National Assembly came together and started the committee. The same committee that we're seeing now on TV? Yes, the same committee. Something very similar. They came up to this committee, so they're trying to investigate whether he did in fact violate his role as a president. Did he spend the money, or did he really spend state money for his own pleasure? So the National Assembly came through and they looked at the reports once or twice. They looked at the report, looked it up and down and say, yeah, we don't think Jacob Zuma was wrong. Nah, it's fine. Every single thing that was in his house was in fact security updates. And he did not need to pay back the money. Then the EFF and the DA heard of this. The EFF and the DA was just like, not on my watch.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
The EFF challenged this in Parliament before the Constitutional Court. They argued that the president himself did not comply with the Constitution by not listening to the public protector, right? They basically said the public protector did tell him to repay the money, and he was just like, nah, I'm not going to do it. So they were like, he violated that. The public protector can tell you what to do, and you need to comply. If you don't want to do that, then take it to court. Now, this is where we hit the scene where the EFF and the National Speaker of Assembly is in the Constitutional Court. Now that we're in the Constitutional Court had to answer 3 important questions that was presented to them. 1, is the public protector's remedial actions that was given to Jacob Zuma legally binding? 2, did President Jacob Zuma violate the Constitution by failing to comply with those remedial actions? And 3, did Parliament fail in its constitutional duty by protecting the president instead of holding him accountable? Now let's look at what the court decided from those 3 questions. First question essentially says, if the public protector speaks, can you ignore them? And the answer in the Constitutional Court said, if the public protector says something, you cannot just ignore them. If you do not agree with what they said, if you do not agree with their findings, the only course of action is to take them to court, to have it set aside, or to have it reviewed. But you can't just look at them up and down and say, no. So whatever they say, it is binding. It's not, and they're not here to advise you. Issue number 2. The Constitutional Court found President Jacob Zuma in violation of the Constitution, specifically Section 83B. It requires the president to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution, which he did not by not listening to the public protector in the first place. The third issue, did the National Assembly or Parliament, did they act constitutionally or unconstitutionally when they did not hold Jacob Zuma accountable? And the Constitution said they acted unconstitutionally by not holding Jacob Zuma to what the public protector was saying. Essentially, the National Assembly needs to work hand in hand with the public protector. So if the public protector is saying do something, and then the National Assembly is like, nah, they're essentially just rewriting their own rules or coming with their own processes. And that's what the court said. You can't come up with your own processes. You are supposed to make sure that he was supposed to be accountable. If the national protector said, pay back the money, you pay back the money.
Pay back the money. Pay back.
Now, after all of those shenanigans, Constitutional Court came up with a court order and basically said, one, the National Treasury needed to determine the amount that President Jacob Zuma needed to pay. Right? He did not have to pay the whole funds because some of the upgrades were for security purposes, but a certain portion that was not supposed to be part of security, or that was done in the name of security but was not done, he needed to pay that back. Number two, Jacob Zuma had to pay back the money at a specific period that the court had determined. And then the Parliament's decision for declaring Jacob Zuma not to pay back the money was invalid and unconstitutional. It was finished and clear. Why is this case even significant? Why is it so important? Why are we even talking about it? Why is it in my constitutional law module?
Tell me why. Ooh. Show me why. Ooh.
Why is it important? It's trying to show you that no one is above the law, including the president himself. And it's trying to show us that the public protector has strength. It has whatever they're doing or whatever they say to us, it is binding. And it reinforced the rule of no one is above the law, including the president himself. So Parliament needs to make sure if the president does something wrong, he needs to be held accountable. And obviously the Constitution as a whole, the Constitutional Court as a whole, is essentially like a guardian to the Constitution itself and the rule of law. And that is the end of the EFF versus the National Speaker 2016, the Nkandla case. That was a mouthful. I hope you understood this. If you're not understanding it and there's some certain concepts that you want me to touch on, please comment on the video below. Please comment on the video. I will try and answer your questions. If not, you have all my handles, and I will actually answer you there because I'm always on my phone, but not always on my laptop. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, send it to your friends in law school, subscribe, like, click the notification button so whenever I post, you will actually see it. I hope you enjoyed this video and you understood this video. So yeah, cheers guys.